Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Suzlon Energy Limited Q1 FY25 earnings conference call hosted by ICICI Securities. During this call, the company management may make certain statements which reflect their outlook for the future or which could be construed as forward-looking statements. These statements are based on the management's current expectations and are associated with uncertainties and risks as fully detailed in the annual report, which may cause the actual result to differ. Hence, these statements must be reviewed in conjunction with the risk that the company faces. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing the star and 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Deepika. Good evening. On behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, I would like to welcome you all for the Q1 FY25 conference call of Suzlon Energy Limited. From the management, we have with us Mr. J.P. Chalasani, Group CEO, Mr. Himanshu Mody, Group CFO. We'll begin with opening remarks, followed by a Q&A session. To be fair to others, request each participant to ask not more than 2 or 3 questions. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Earnings call. I hope you had an opportunity to review our results and investor presentation. We will now share with you an overview of the industry, and we will walk you through our Q1 FY25 performance. We will then take your questions. Q1 FY25 continues the growth momentum started in FY24 with unparalleled performance across financial and operational parameters. This is one of the best quarters in 7 years, wherein we have outperformed across various performance parameters. This performance comes as a result of several strategic and transformative steps the company took in the last 3 to 4 years, which we have been briefing from time to time. Robust, largest ever order book in the history of Suzlon of 3.8 gigawatt as on June 24 is a testament of superior technology, acceptability of our S144 WTC model, and customer confidence in Suzlon. This also reverberates with 29 years of proven track record with 32% market share on cumulative installed base in India. Suzlon also qualifies for government tenders post and would be selectively pursuing these orders, as we discussed during our last call. Our endeavor remains to pursue quality orders with higher value and better margins. Globally, India ranks 4th in total wind installations with 46 gigawatts of installed onshore wind as on June 2024. Suzlon continues its growth trajectory with deliveries of 274 megawatt in Q1 FY25, which is 2 times of 135 megawatts in Q1 FY24. This quarter, industry did close to 770 megawatts of commissioning, which is obviously below the expectations. As per our estimates, there are sizable number of turbines in pre-commissioning phase, which could not be commissioned for different reasons, and would be commissioned in Q2 FY25. Indian wind sector, as per our estimate, should achieve installation of 5 gigawatts in FY25. Our OMS business continues to do well with 14.8 gigawatts capacity in India, with the machine availability ensured above 96%. Our top priority would remain timely execution of our robust order book while upholding the highest standards of quality and ESG. Our pioneering business model of end-to-end offerings for wind energy value chain, fully integrated supply chain, track record of project execution, and best-in-class service cannot be easily replicated, which provides us with a strong, differentiated competitive advantage. I would now like to invite Himanshu to take you through our financial performance.
Thank you, JPC sir, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I shall be using slide number 16 to 23 of our investor presentation, which is now available on our website, as the reference point for our discussion during this call. Q1 FY25 has seen us register robust improvement in all key performance parameters, and our fundamentals have further strengthened with a focus on the bottom line. We have made deliveries of 274 megawatts in Q1, which is more than 2x as compared to Q1 of FY24. On the P&L front, Q1 FY25, there has been a renewed focus on our bottom line, which has resulted in a revenue of 2,016 crores in the quarter, witnessing an increase of 50% on a year-on-year basis. Consolidated EBITDA of the company stood at 370 crores, which is up by more than 86%, and with an EBITDA margin of 18.4% on a consolidated basis. PAT for Q1 FY25 increased by 200% or almost 3x to about 302 crores in the quarter. This has made us register highest quarterly EBITDA and PAT in almost about 7 years. We are also pleased to report that our balance sheet as of June 2024 demonstrates a further position of strength with a consolidated strong net worth of 4,253 crores and a net cash position of 1,197 crores. The last 1 year in FY24 has been a year of financial turnaround for us, whereas we focus on our balance sheet and also putting in place the working capital for the company. We would like to reiterate that Suzlon is well positioned for the growth and sectoral leadership to participate in the India energy transition, with FY25 being a focus of performance on the P&L side and working capital side in the company. Needless to say, we shall be focused on best-in-class product with our in-house R&D team. Our fortified financial position with optimized cost structure shall continue and be a focus area for us. Largest ever order book, as JPC sir just mentioned, with a strong pipeline in active discussion. A supply chain that's fully geared up in line with our order book commitments to our customers. And a regained confidence of all stakeholders, including financial and also suppliers and customers. And a strong bench strength with the management team that has a renewed zeal to deliver. With that, I'd like to conclude my presentation, and we can open the floor for any question and answers that the callers may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening. My compliments on a robust Q1 performance. My first question is, could you spell out the reasons for improvement in the WTG contribution margin in Q1? We've also noted that your project or segment mix has shifted more in favor of captive C&I retail, even on a sequential basis now almost 2/3. Is the pricing better in this segment versus state or central bids? That would be my first question.
So Sumit, hi. On the margin, of course, whilst we've reported close to 23% contribution margin on the WTG segment, it is not something that may be sustainable because this quarter saw a lower activity on the project execution side. So whilst, from a readiness perspective, we had about 230 megawatts of turbines ready on the ground for commissioning, but we did only 70 so far because the balance 160 megawatts lies in the scope of our customers, which is out of our hand. Had that kicked in, there may have been certain delta revenue and costs which may have pulled down the margin a bit. But having said that, needless to say, still the margins would have been in the late teens or maybe around the 20% vicinity. So that's the answer to your first question. On the second one, the mix, of course, is what it is between CNI and IPP, but in terms of our average selling price to the both class of customers, it is pretty similar. There is no visible differentiation in pricing across customer class.
Got it. And my second and last question is, for S144, how many WTG sets have been delivered or installed so far? So if you could give your experience of how that particular turbine is operating on the field and any other experiences in terms of commissioning this.
So we're commissioning close to about 100 megawatts as of now. So everything is in line or better than what anticipated in terms of our design parameters. And in fact, we're also now going to the high wind season, so to establish further. We have not seen, everything has been smooth, touch wood, and better than what was expected in terms of the design power curve.
Okay. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Amit Bhinde from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah. So I had two questions. One, with your plan to change the timing of your merger, so is the qualification to NTPC getting affected because of that? And second thing that I wanted to ask on similar lines is that you have made a framework agreement with CESC. So if you can give some details on that one, that's my first question.
On the NTPC, we did discuss last time. So we said that we qualify and we participate in the bid, a large bid, and we're waiting for the results. And we will continue to participate in other public sectors as well. So we have no restrictions related to participation.
Without this merger procedure happening, still you are eligible for NTPC. Okay, great. And on the
CESC, this is a framework agreement which was announced by the CESC. As far as we are concerned, as and when some of them get rectified into a definitive agreement, as per our policy with confirmed advance, we will keep announcing.
Any indication on the size of the framework agreement that you can?
Any framework agreement is substantial quantum. So therefore, let's leave it there. But as far as we are concerned, we are not considered that in our order book.
Right,
and we will only consider in our order book as and when each segment of the framework gets converted into a firm contract with an advance. So
right.
therefore, this is not part of our 3.8 gigawatts what order book we have announced today.
Got it, sir. So, and the other question that I had was, if you can help us understand how your deliveries would shape up, because now captive and IPPs are increasing more than the bids. So then would the delivery timelines be faster? And can we expect a ramp up in the near next 2-3 quarters?
Second portion I can't say, that looks like a guidance for us. But the deliveries would depend upon whether it is an IPP or it's C&I, anyone on this, is with respect to the readiness of site. Okay? Like, remember last time we discussed that the reason why as a country we are not able to move forward much quicker is the execution challenges on the ground. And as Himanshu expected some time back, in fact, our commission capacity would have been 230, not 70. So, but that balance 160, we could not connect to the grid. While the turbine is pre-commissioned, everything is ready, either because the client's connectivity is not there or client BOP in terms of aggregate system, things are not ready. So if we add that 160 to 770 of countries, then country outside would have been around 930, and our share would have been at 25%, which is what normally we've been maintaining.
Correct.
So it all depends. It's nothing to do with this, right? Like, for example, NTPC awards the BOP contracts in advance. Okay. Then after a time gap, they award for the turbines, like what we participated now for those projects, BOP is already awarded by them. So therefore, expectation is that in that case, the preparation is much better. The supplies would be much quicker.
Right.
So it depends upon each quarter what mix of projects are scheduled. Based on that is the acceleration happens. If the supply is not an issue, once again, I'm underlining supply is not an issue. Issue would be the readiness of the projects to uptake.
Readiness of the projects. Yeah. Right. So just on this one, so your realization of revenue for the bit of the installation part would still be left unrecognized, right? So that would get recognized when the installation happens for this 160 megawatt.
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
Okay. Right. And the last part that I want to understand is the penalty that notice that was you had put out a press release 3-4 days ago of 20 million. So that one, would we recognize that in our income statement in this year as a cost or in this quarter? Or would you be recognizing it after contesting?
No. We'll only recognize it only once as and when it fructifies. Right now it is, you can say at best it's a contingent liability, but it is not fructified. We'll, of course, once we've received those notices at our end, we will be, as a company, defending the notices, and only as and when it is paid or fructified is when it will go through the P&L.
All right. Got it. So currently no provisioning or anything would not be made for that 20 crore rupees?
No.
Okay. Got it, sir. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohin Bhelwani, Vijit Global Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and congratulations on a great set of numbers for Q1 FY25. Just wanted to understand the reason for decline in revenue for operation and maintenance. Quarterly, there's a decline of around 50 to 70 crores.
Yes. Hi, Rohit. So the reason, because in Q4 of FY24, where our revenue was a little over 500 crores on the O&M side, there were certain one-time billing on VAP and VAS sales, plus certain contract renewals that got delayed during the year, which was all booked at the time of Q4 before the financial year end. That caused a fillip or increase in the Q4 revenue of OMS. Certainly that is not a steady state revenue, so you should not annualize Q4 FY24 revenues as steady state. What you see in Q1 FY25 and also other similar quarters is what you should take as annualized revenues, other than any VAP, VAS sales that we do during the year.
Okay. And just wanted to understand the timeline between commissioning of a wind turbine and by when does the operation and maintenance of that coming into the business? Let's say you have done 274 megawatt in this quarter. So around by when can we expect the O&M of this to start coming?
So there's a difference. I'll just make a small correction. We've done deliveries of 274 megawatts in this quarter, but what is commissioned is 70 megawatts. So I will use 70 megawatts as a reference point. So let's say if 70 megawatts is got commissioned in Q1 of FY25, anywhere between 2 to 3 years is our warranty period that we give to our customers. So which means that Q1 FY27 or Q1 FY28 is when this 70 megawatts would start earning revenue from an O&M basis.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best for your upcoming quarters.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ashish Upanglwar in WestQ. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes. So we've come a very long way in the last 1.5 years in terms of the entire turnaround of the business. Congrats on that. Sir, just to understand the addressable size that Suzlon can achieve, we have all the targets that the government has laid down for itself in terms of 10 gigawatts a year and private as it is going on. So for us, from here, where do we see maybe the best case for us? Because execution on the ground remains different from government side plus the issues on the evacuation side. So just some idea on that will help us frame our thoughts on that.
Let's talk about sector, that would give you what Suzlon will do, because there's always a correlation between how much sector does and how much Suzlon. This year, we are expecting anywhere between 5 to 5.5 gigawatts is what country will do, compared to 3,250 what we did last financial year. And our expectation is that this will, in FY26, would go up to anywhere close to 6.5 to 7 gigawatts. And thereafter, from FY28 onwards, we expect it to be anywhere between 8 to 9 gigawatts. Okay. Why we are saying this, also the reason is that one is gradually we hope these hurdles on the ground will get removed, because more and more capable people are coming in, and then there are some advanced actions being taken on the land. And also the government of India, as we mentioned last time, is now started acting on removing the hurdles for wind. In fact, just 2 weeks back, they issued the guidelines and revised guidelines on micro siting, removing some of the hurdles. So if that is the rate, 5.5, then next year about 7, then following year about 8 to 9, is what is the opportunity, then you can always think that what should be our, where will we be from that point of it, rather than me saying that how much Suzlon will do. And we always know that what is the correlation between what country does and what Suzlon does.
Sure.
I will take that as a guidance rather than giving a guidance on the company's strength.
Correct. So what's the executable capacity now as we stand today, and just to understand how much we will have to do in case these numbers on the overall macro of India come in till FY28?
Come again?
So what's the current capacity in terms of how much we can deliver in case the demand side picks up, as you said, FY26, 27. So what's the capacity right now?
Our supply today is, supply capacity is anywhere between 3.5 to 4 gigawatts. We can easily supply per year, which will get further expanded, let's say in FY26 and FY27.
Okay, got it.
But then please understand, I keep each time clarifying this, when you talk about manufacturing capacity is provided your machines are constantly loaded. Okay?
Right.
Assuming that month to month there is a load of that nature. It cannot happen that 4 gigawatts means that first quarter nothing happens and second quarter only picks up, third quarter nothing happens. Then this gets constrained. Capacity, what is lost in a quarter, in a month is lost.
So, say 70% better assumption to go with?
Sorry?
70% utilization would be a better assumption to go with, or we can, given the seasonality issue?
Your guess versus my guess with respect to the offtake and the particular projects which are scheduled for delivery in that quarter.
Got it. Yeah.
It could be 100%, and it could be as low as 50 to 60%. It all depends. It would vary from quarter to quarter depending upon which projects are scheduled to be delivered during that quarter. Some projects are well prepared. Like for example, I said that if NTPC within that, let's say one, there's an advanced preparation by NTPC. So therefore, it's much more predictable for supply of your turbines. This will keep changing. I'm not trying to dodge your question, but it all depends upon quarter to quarter. We need to keep monitoring.
I understand. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Barani, Avendus Park. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So this guidance you've given for the year of 5.5 gigawatts of execution at the country level, does it include CNI or is it only grid connected?
Total. Total wind capacity connected to the grid.
Including CNI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for those, if at all there are any capacities which are not connected to the grid, they are behind the meter.
Understood. Okay. So this is the total potential. And the second question is on the auctioning or awarding of projects. So we know government wants to achieve about 50 gigawatt overall for the year and about 10 to 15 on wind. So where are we on that target in the first quarter? Meaning how much has been auctioned or awarded?
Bidding is huge. I think we lost count of bidding. In fact, there is a huge amount of bidding completed projects awarded, where they are now chasing the bids, one waiting for the PSS to be signed. so that they can move it. And even if you look at currently as we speak, just in the month of June, for different awards, particularly there are about 3.7 gigawatts awarded projects just in 1 month of June. And today there is about 7.5 gigawatts of the bids submitted and another 13 gigawatts of bids called for. Forgetting about the bids awarded and pending for execution, which is close to 20 gigawatts. Okay. And we already have another 4 gigawatts awarded in the month of June, another 20 gigawatts bids either submitted or called for. So I don't think that this is all in addition to the C&I. And in fact, if you look at our the order book, 2/3 is C&I and 1/3 is the bid PPS. So I don't think there is any concern with respect to whether the government is coming out bidding or whether there is enough volume. What as a country we need to only concentrate on is how much can we commission each year. So I don't think there's any issue with respect to the market availability or not. That is at least for the next few years, at least 2 to 3 years, we really don't need to worry about other opportunities in the market. Sector as a whole, including Suzlon.
Okay, that's clear. My final question is clarificatory in nature. So you mentioned about 274 we delivered, but commissioned is around 70. So that means the revenues is recorded for the entire 270 while the cost is recorded only for the 70. Is that how to understand that?
No. So the revenue is recorded for the entire 274 and the, COGS also is recorded for the 274 entirely. For the 70 megawatts commissioning, the correspondent revenue and costs are recorded. Whatever is not commissioned, we are yet to recognize costs or revenue associated with it.
And also, please be clear that this 274 and 70 has no linkage. It's not that the 70 megawatt is what is out of this 274.
Yeah.
The turbines can be commissioned, could have been supplied even a couple of quarters back and commissioned now. So therefore, these two are independent of each other. On a quarter-to-quarter basis, we can't compare supply versus COD. So there's a time lag between supply and the commissioning.
Yeah, that is very clear. Thank you for answering and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar, ICICI Securities. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you.
Hello? We lost you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thanks. So thank you and congrats on a good set of numbers, sir. So, sir, can you just elaborate on what exactly are these difficulties that we are facing in execution? And after that, I'll ask my follow-up on that.
No, it is not, when I talked about execution, it is nothing to do with Suzlon. I'm talking about as a sector. The reason why we are not able to go up to 8 gigawatts, 9 gigawatts is fundamentally the two reasons, we can say. One is the availability of land and the pathways, and more importantly, continuous availability of pathways. You might have taken a pathway to take your turbine and everything, but there could be, after you've taken it, then again there could be issues locally with people to do that. Because please understand that wind projects are scattered turbines. They are in an open area. They are not in a closed area like what you do a solar or you do a fossil fuel-based plant. So that's the major concern today everybody is facing in terms of the land, and also because most projects got concentrated in Karnataka today. So therefore, there is more pressure there, and also the regulations in Karnataka for land acquisition is very cumbersome process. That's one state which still has, you need to convert into non-agricultural, because many other states have changed over saying that, okay, if it is renewable, it's automatic conversion, you don't need to do that. So therefore, the whole process itself is too long in Karnataka. On top of it, everybody is in Karnataka. So the whole state is stressed out for that. That's one reason. Second reason why we are saying execution is in terms of connectivity is one reason, where the substations, there are timelines to come in. Sometimes there is a delay, in the substation coming up by a few months, so therefore that gets delayed. Third is that the BOP capacity building is still happening in the country, because no other OEM does end-to-end except Suzlon. And even in our case, only 1/3 is EPC, the balance 2/3 is not EPC. That means we're not doing end-to-end. The third-party BOP capacity building is still happening. So therefore, they're seeing the delays in execution of BOP, not in the speed at which is expected. So these are three major reasons why we are struggling for capacity addition. But as I said some time back,